Hey everyone, welcome to another BTM screencast. Today we're going over Chapter 10, Electrical Box Installation. Some of the objectives are to select an appropriate electrical box type for a residential application, size electrical boxes according to the NEC, demonstrate an understanding of the installation of metal and non-metallic electrical device boxes in residential wiring situations, install metal and non-metallic electrical device boxes, demonstrate an understanding of the installation of lighting outlet and junction boxes in residential wiring situations, install metal and non-metallic lighting outlet and junction boxes, demonstrate an understanding of the installation of electrical boxes in existing walls and ceilings, and install old work electrical boxes. So first you have to be able to select the appropriate electrical box type. To select the proper electrical box, check the electrical plans to determine what is being installed at a certain location. For instance, if the symbol for a duplex receptacle is shown on the plans, a device box will need to be installed. If the symbol for a ceiling-mounted incandescent lighting fixture is shown, an outlet box designed to accommodate a lighting fixture will have to be installed. If the symbol for a junction box is shown, a box type that is designed to accommodate the proper number of conductors coming into the box will have to be installed. So let's go over what some of these look like. If a device box will be used, you have to determine if the electrical box is a single gang, which we have up at A, a two gang, which is right here with B, or a three gang or more, again determined by this. This information is usually found on the electrical plan. Now you have to be able to determine whether you'll be used in a new work or an old work box. So up here, A, this is a metallic new work box that gets fastened to the stud. This is also a new work non-metallic box, and this sleeve right here gets mounted to the stud. And if we go on the bottom, we can see that we have the old work boxes, and we're going to get into more detail about these later on. If you're going to size the electrical box, you have to make sure the proper box is being selected. Make sure the box can accommodate the required number of conductors and other electrical equipment that will be placed in the box. A good reference for this is Table 314.16a and 314.16b in the National Electrical Code. When sizing electrical boxes, Section 314.16 provides the requirements and identifies the allowances for the number of conductors permitted in a box. Total box volume must be equal to or greater than total box fill. Total box volume is determined by adding the individual volumes of the box components, and the number of conductors permitted in a box is determined by the volume of the box. When installing electrical boxes, there is no NEC rule for the installation height of electrical boxes in residential wiring. A common height for switches is 48 inches to the center of the box, and of course that's from the floor. A common height for receptacles is 16 inches to the center of the box. Always check the building plans and the electrical supervisor to determine the required box height for the house you're working on. Some electricians like to make their box height measurement to the bottom or top of an electrical box instead of to the center. This is a personal preference. It doesn't make any difference as long as you're consistent throughout the house. So if you're going to have all of your receptacles at 16 inches to the center, make sure that they're 16 inches to the center in all rooms, not 16 inches to the center in one room, 16 inches to the top in another, and 16 inches to the bottom in another room. In walls or ceilings made of non-combustible materials, electrical boxes must be mounted so they're set back no more than 1/4 inch from the finished wall surface. When installing non-metallic device boxes, they typically have both their cubic inch volume and the maximum number of 14, 12, and 10 AWG conductors marked on the box. The most common method for installing them is nailing them directly to a wood framing member. So in this instance, you can see we have our nails here and here. What you can't see is on this side, there's little nubs, and that'll let you know where this needs to get installed. Some styles come with a side mounted bracket. So this is the one that we saw up front when we looked at the examples. So instead of having the nails that come in this way, it has a mounting bracket that goes on the front of the stud. When installing metal device boxes, the best way to attach a metal device box is with nails to keep the nails outside of the box. And here we have the nails going through. And this is letting you know that this is a non-gangable single metal device box. So this is just single gang box. It can't be a 2-gang or 3-gang. One thing to keep in mind is that when you have these, it requires an opening of 3 inches by 2 inches. So 2 inches this way and 3 inches this way. Some metal boxes are attached to framing members using a side-mounted bracket. Again, we just saw this one with the non-metallic boxes. There are times when installing a box directly to a stud, joist, or rafter does not put it in a location that is called for in the electrical plan. If this happens, you may need to mount it so it's actually positioned between 2 studs, joists, or rafters. In this case, wood or metal strips can be placed between the framing members and the electrical box can be secured to them. So if you don't have the framing to do it, you have to create the framing to do it. When installing handy boxes, it's classified by the NEC as a device box. They're normally mounted directly on the surface of a framing member or an existing wall. Often used in places where a finished wall surface is not going to be used, like an unfinished basement, unfinished garage, or in some agricultural buildings, but not outdoors. If you look around the lab, there's a number of handy boxes around. If you need to check them out or want more clarification, let me know. So now we're going to go over installing lighting outlet and junction boxes. So A and B are 2 different types of lighting outlet boxes. They're usually round or octagonal. So again, we can see that A is one of the round ones, and that's a non-metallic device. And B is a metallic device, and that's the octagonal one. Junction boxes are usually square and require a flat blank cover to be installed, which we have over here on B. They can contain more conductors than a comparable octagon box. And if you look, the octagon box up here has the corners cut off, and because the corners are cut off, there's less volume. When installing lighting outlet and junction boxes, lighting outlet boxes are often mounted to the building framing members with side mounting brackets or adjustable bar hangers. On A, we have an adjustable bar hanger, which we will be using in lab. B, an octagon box with a side mounting bracket. And C, octagon box with an offset style bar hanger. C, we will not be using in lab. A and B, we will be. Installing old work boxes in existing walls and ceilings. To install old work boxes, cut a hole into the wall or ceiling at the location where you wish to mount the box. The plaster ears keep the boxes from going too far into the hole, but there has to be some other device that will keep the box from coming back out of the hole. So in this one, you can see that the devices that keep it from coming back out of the hole are the metal straps. Some old work boxes have metal straps that spread open and do not allow the box to come back out of the hole. And again, that's what this one is demonstrating. Install old work boxes in existing walls and ceilings. Non-metallic or old work boxes have brackets that swing into place behind a wall or ceiling to hold them in place. So on A, you can see that there's 3 brackets. On B, this is showing 2 with the 2-gang, And on C, with the 3 gang, it's showing 1, 2, 3, 4 of the brackets. And again, these swing out of the way. When installing old work boxes in existing walls and ceilings, some boxes have sheetrock grips that are tightened to hold the box firmly in the wall or ceiling, which is demonstrated in the first diagram. Madison holdits, also known as Madison straps or Madison hangers, are thin middle straps installed on each side of an old work box to provide a secure attachment. These are at the bottom. We will not be using these in lab. If you have questions and want further clarification, let me know and we can go over it. That's all for this week, and I'll see you next time.